The theme of my talk today is telling stories. We will listen to Willow's story and we will learn that when we tell stories, we use past simple. Today, we will focus more on irregular verbs. Let's begin. Do you like stories? Of course, me too. Stories are tales that are made up for entertainment or a retelling of something that happened. So they can be fictional, which means imaginary, or true. Every story has a teller. A teller is a person who tells the story. And every story has a listener, a person who listens to the story. These are the key words which will appear in the story later. Listen and repeat after me. Top branch, slip, fall. Just in case you have forgotten the characters of the book that we are using to learn English, here are they. Willow, Alvin, Harry, Mona, Emma, Lee, and Erlina. Now it's time for you to listen to the story. Enjoy!
Willow, what's this?
Oh, it's a long story.
Oh, tell us, what happened?
Well, it was a long time ago. A young boy came into the forest. He climbed up to my top branch. He sat and looked around. He was very happy. He could see the whole forest. Suddenly, it started to rain. My branches got very wet.
And then what?
He stood up, but then he slipped and fell.
Oh no!
I hope you found the story interesting. Now we will read the story and we will identify the verbs in the past. Last lesson, we learned that regular verbs take ed at the end, so it is easy to identify them. But in order to identify past irregular verbs, you will need my help. Let's begin. So the first picture, the beginning of the story, starts with present. So we don't have there a verb used in the past. Willow, what's this? Oh, it's a long story. We will continue with the second picture. The children insist. Oh, tell us, what happened? And now we have happened with ed. So this means that this is a regular verb in the past. And Willow starts to tell the story. Well, it was a long time ago. And we have here the verb was, which is irregular verb. A young boy came into the forest. We have here the verb came, which is irregular past verb. He climbed up to my top branch. Climbed ends with ed, and we know that it is a regular verb. He said and looked around. So we have two verbs here, sat, which is irregular verb, and looked, which is regular verb, because it ends in ed. He was very happy. Again, was is irregular verb. He could see the whole forest. Could is irregular verb. Suddenly, it started to rain. Started ends with ed, so it is a regular verb. My branches got very wet. Got, here got is irregular verb. And then what? He stood up. So stood up is irregular verb. But then he slipped and fell. Slipped, regular with ed, and fell is irregular verb. To understand them better, let's have a look at all the verbs that appeared in this text. On this side, as you see, you have regular verbs ending in ed, and on the other side you have irregular verbs, and you see that irregular verbs change their form in the past. The only way to learn them is by heart. We have here is, which in the past is changed into was. Tell, told. Come, came. Sit, sat. Can, could. Get, got. Stay, stood. Let's take an example. I won a game yesterday. The verb in the past is won, and it is irregular verb. Here is the expression of time, yesterday. If we want to turn this sentence into a negative form, we use didn't. I didn't win a game yesterday. Now, when we use didn't, the main verb stays in present. And if we want to form the question, we place did at the beginning and we have a question form. Did you win a game yesterday? And we have to answer with yes, I did, or no, I didn't. In order to learn irregular verbs better, I would advise you to practice, especially irregular verbs, over and over again. You might use them in sentences, writing them in your notebook, or writing stories, or continuing to write your diary. Another advice would be to make a list and every day add a new verb. Example, if today you have written sit, sat, then tomorrow continue with come, came. Thank you so much for your interest and attention.